To make a long story short, we moved here from Pennsylvania just a little over 2 years ago. And so we're new to the area, and we're learning all about cold weather. Yes, we are. And we actually moved in the middle of that terrible winter we had, 2 winters, or was it 3 winters now? You remember the really, really cold negative degrees. So we moved, and we moved on the day we moved in February. It was negative, it was 16 degrees in Pennsylvania when we left. It was negative 16 when we got here. And our poor movers, can you imagine? We had the doors open, we were cold. It was a lot of work, it was a lot of stress. And as a result, all the packing and moving and having to stand and having to tell the movers where to go and where things go, I hurt my feet. Now I have plantar fasciitis, heel spurs. Anybody have that? A couple of you? Okay. You know how painful it is, right? And so as a result, I do have heel spurs. I've had them for a long time, but I really flared the pain up so that I couldn't walk. In fact, I couldn't walk without a wheelchair or without the little carts at the grocery store for the first 10 or 11 months we lived here. For the first almost year that we lived here, I couldn't walk without pain. It was very frustrating, very depressing. I went to the doctor, I got inserts, I got shots. I would sit and I couldn't unpack, couldn't get my house in order. There were many tears. I couldn't exercise. I almost immediately put on 20 or 30 pounds. That's depressing. And I became stiff and achy, and I was worried about the stairs in our new house and how am I going to ever grow hold in this house, feeling this stiff, achy pain, always pain. Nothing helped, nothing. Ice, nothing helped. We even bought a used wheelchair so that we can go on vacation that summer. My husband pushed me around everywhere, up the Black Hills and everywhere, and it was embarrassing. You know, I'm young enough to not have to need a wheelchair, right? I'm usually pretty healthy. I don't, at least I thought, you know. So it was very demeaning, and I was one of those using the electric carts in the grocery store, and I was very thankful for them. I was very thankful for my wheelchair too. But I knew that when I was sitting there, waiting for my boxes to be unpacked, waiting, I had to move. I didn't use a wheelchair in the house. I could walk, but I had to boot, and it was painful. And who wants to walk when you're in pain? I would sit there, and finally it occurred to me, you know, I could read the Bible, and I could pray. Now, I've been a Christian since I was 10 years old, so I know what it's like to serve the Lord and be a Christian and to love Him with all of my heart, because I have loved God for many, many years. But it occurred to me, you know, I'm going to read the Bible. And I began to not that I wasn't reading the Bible, but I really began to read the Bible. And I started in 1 Peter, and I couldn't get out of 1 Peter. I was probably in 1 Peter several weeks. I kept reading it over and over, and then I went to 2 Peter, and then Romans and John, and all of the epistles, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, and I didn't read Revelation, but this year in BSF we did Revelation, right? So I really began to saturate myself in God's Word. And the more I read, the more I learned about myself. And in that time, let me tell you some of the things I learned. Okay, so I sat there and I was thinking about so many things. So for instance, we're empty nesting now. We moved here. My daughter was a senior in high school when we moved. So she was pretty much going to be done with school. We've homeschooled all this time and blah, 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 blah. What am I going to do with my life? You know, that was depressing. I don't know what that looks like. How am I going to get unpacked? How am I going to lose my weight? How am I going to meet people and make friends? How am I going to do this and that? How am I going to meet my neighbors? It was all very depressing, and I became depressed. Anyone ever been depressed in here? If you have, you know what it's like. You're in the hole, right? You are in the hole, and you can't get out of the hole. But it was only through God's Word that I climbed out of that hole, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, day by day. And